guys, so I'm here today to film a foundation review and wear test on the Smashbox, hold on, what's it called? Studio Skin Full Coverage 24-Hour Foundation. It's the one in the tube container. I just have a sample because your girl is not trying to buy a foundation if she hasn't tried it yet. I'm just like over that life. I will be doing a foundation application and wear test with this foundation today for 10 hours. So if you want to see that, keep watching. Also subscribe to my channel every Tuesday and Thursday. And my updo is a little out of control today, but we're living with it. So like I said, I picked up a sample of this. I always say, get a sample before you buy the foundation. It's just worth it. People are always afraid to get a foundation sample from Sephora because they feel cheap, but at the same time, Sephora as a company would rather you get a sample and hate a foundation, move on with your life, as opposed to buy a foundation, take it home, try it, hate it, and then return it, and then they lose the money for that entire purchase because they have to trash it. Just saying. So I got a foundation sample in the shade 0.5, which is described as fair with cool undertones. It did look very light in store when I first swatched it, but I put it on my hand and I was like, literally, I was like, this is what the shade the Sephora Shade Matcher says I should be. And I put it on my hand and I was like, lol, Sephora Shade Matcher is shit. And then I went walking around the store and it had oxidized on my hand. And also then I went to try to rub it off my hand and it was like glued to my hand. So hopefully that's a good I guess, example of how it's going to wear today. This is a full coverage matte finish liquid foundation, a weightless 24-hour full coverage foundation with oil and shine control that is also waterproof, sweat resistant, and won't look cakey or cause blemishes. Now, the reason I got this also retails for 48 Canadian. The reason I got this is because I saw Tati's foundation review on it. My best friend was like, you need to watch this review. It looked beautiful on her. I didn't look that it was matte until I was put it on my face today and I was like, this feels matte. So those are the claims. I'm going to insert a clip now of me applying it and then we will talk about it. Okay, so I am going to take my foundation sample with my beauty blender. I have already primed my face with my Milk Hydro Grip Primer. I know that this is technically a long-lasting primer, but this is my favorite primer right now, so it's what I'm going with, and I know it doesn't affect the finish of the foundation, and honestly, I don't even know if it affects the longevity that much. So we are just gonna go for it. This is a thick foundation, so I'm just going to dot that all over the place. And we're gonna see what happens. I know some people like to use sponge on one side and brush on the other. I'm not one of those people. Also, the shade does look a little bit light for me, but when I swatched it in store, it did oxidize, and the next shade up I think was too yellow, and then the one that was pink toned was too dark. Story of my life. It does feel like it sets really easily. Like you have to work fast with this foundation because like I feel like it already like dried on my forehead. So I would say with this foundation, definitely work in sections because that's annoying. Especially with a sticky primer like this, probably didn't help that at all. So I probably shouldn't have just put it all on my face like that, but you live and you learn. And I do look, I would say quite ghostly. So I'm actually just gonna put some more on the back of my hand and then pick it up with the Beauty Blender for a little bit more coverage. This is definitely looking matte on me. I feel like when I watched Tati's review, it looked glowy, and on me it doesn't. It feels very matte. I probably should have looked at the finish of this before I started, but I literally saw Tati's review and was like, well, I need this. And here I am. Like, I look ghostly, but at the same time, it matches my neck. So I think the moral of the story is I'm a ghost. Okay, this is looking very dry on my skin. Let me give you guys a zoom. So I'm not sure if you can just see just truly how dry this is on my skin. I think I might... Okay. Change of plans. I'm going to take this off quickly and try it with a hydrating primer because right now I can just tell that I'm going to hate it and there is just no reason to put it through this type of torture and kind of unfairly test it. Okay, I took that off with my micellar water, reapplied my serum and my moisturizer, and then I used the Too Faced Hangover RX primer, and I'm going to put it on the back of my hand and work off of there. Sometimes there's trial and error involved, and I don't believe in blaming a foundation for it. See, that is blending out so much better. I'm not sure. Maybe I might have let my kind of moisturizer sink in almost too much. And now I'm kind of working a little bit quicker in sections with that, and it's looking so much nicer on my skin. I think I might have put a little bit too much on, but that's fine. I definitely still feel like this looks a little bit matte on me. I'm hoping it's one of those foundations that kind of wears in almost throughout the day. But it is getting beautiful coverage. It's weird because like it definitely blended out way easier that time, but it still looks a little bit cakey. Let me zoom you guys. So I don't know if you can see, but it definitely looks just a little bit heavy, especially on my upper lip. It like is super full coverage. I look so white. So now that that's on, I'm going to finish the rest of my face. It's 11:55 right now, so we'll call the check-in time at 12 o'clock. It's a Saturday, so I have all day to do check-ins and stuff, so it's not a big deal that I started late. Weird. I'm a little bit shocked about how I feel about this foundation because I truly thought I was going to be obsessed with it. Toddy's video made it look beautiful, but I don't know. It looks just like Cake City. Hopefully, like I might not even set this with a powder, which is wild for me. Hopefully a setting spray helps, so BRB. Okay, so this is the finished look. I did not set this because it is so matte. I actually just filmed the intro and I read the description and see now that it is a matte foundation. Why did I buy this? I don't know. But it's super matte, super full coverage, so I did not set it. I did use a shit ton of my Catrice Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Setting Spray, and I used the Morphe Continuous Mist to try and give it some life, but it still feels super matte and super cakey. I think I put on way too much of this also, so part of that is my fault, but still, she looks rough. And I always say I like to look at a foundation when I'm doing a review and see how much an actual pump is and how long a pump goes, but because this is a squeeze tube foundation, it would be so easy to use too much of this. So let me give you guys a zoom and show you guys what it looks like on my face now that it's fully done. Okay, so first of all, the coverage is amazing. I have lots of breakouts on my chin and I didn't use any concealer today. I only concealed under my eyes. But I will say it looks dry and cakey here. Forehead, we are settling in all of the fine lines, and my nose looks not great. So on first application, I'm not loving this. Why did I buy a matte foundation? Who am I? I think this would probably look really nice on Toddy because I think she has oily skin, whereas I do not, but I am hoping that maybe throughout the day this will kind of warm up to my skin, make it look more lifelike, but I truly don't see how that's gonna happen. So like I said, the check-in time is 5 o'clock. We will see, or sorry, the check-in time is 12 o'clock. Who am I? I'll be back at 5 for my first check-in and then again at 10. Please pray for my skin. She's a lot. Okay, I am in my car and the sun is behind me, so I'm turned this way and my husband is staring at me rudely. It's 4:30. I just went to the movies and I'm going to get tacos with my best friend and my husband, so I wanted to do my check-in before I ate so you could see what it looks like. It's not great. You can see it's like really cakey right here. My upper lip is so not cute. Forehead is, hello, wrinkles. It's cakey here. Really, it's been 4.5 hours and nothing has gotten better. So I'll probably film another check-in like once I get home. But I wanted to just kind of give you a quick update on the face. It's not great. It's the moral of this story. I mean, it's cute, but like the foundation's not great.
It's all right.
Okay, bye. Okay, it is 9:30. It's been on for 9.5 hours. Truly, I thought about just taking this off at like 7 p.m., but I was just going to take it off the couch because this has not gotten any better. My last check-in was on my phone at, I think it was 4:30, and things have gone downhill since there. It's really settled into my chin, and this area is somehow even cakier. Let me zoom you guys in and then we'll discuss. Okay, so the fuck is this? Not cute. It's like I am used to having this happen sometimes, and like usually it's cakey on my upper lip, but like this, it's like cakey on like the side of my chin. Like what the fuck is that? That's never happened. The forehead is not looking cute. It's like, I just feel like if I took a fingernail, I could like dig it, like, look at that. I just like dug a layer of foundation off. Delicious. So far, I hate this. I think I put too much foundation on today, truthfully. Like, I'm not gonna completely blame the foundation. I'll take some blame for myself. So what I'm going to do is end this video here now after 9 hours of wear so you guys can see what it looks like. Tomorrow I'm going to wear this foundation again, and I'm going to use a glowy primer now that I know it's a mattifying foundation. And I'm also going to use this foundation sparingly. Like, I must have just put on way too much. It didn't look like a lot on my hand though. Like, it looked like a regular pump, maybe a pump and a half of foundation, but whoo baby, it's not cute. So I think tomorrow I'm going to just wear it again. I will wear it lightly, and I'll just kind of give you guys a couple check-ins, and then I'll wrap up the video tomorrow, because I don't want, this is the thing about first impressions, is I don't want to give an unfair impression of or review of a product. So I would rather just like use it again tomorrow and see how it works so that you guys can have an actual review, because like this could be user error, and I understand that. I didn't realize how matte it was. I didn't read the description until after I applied it, and I also didn't realize how full coverage it was. And personally, I'm not the kind of person that ever really looks for, like, I say I like full coverage, but for me full coverage is like the NARS Radiant Longwear foundation. But I guess I'm more of like a medium buildable foundation kind of girl, because like the Jouer foundations and stuff like that, when I see them, people applying them and they're so full coverage, I'm like, yikes. So yeah, that's all for today. Future Kayla will be here with a check-in tomorrow to show you guys if I can make this work or if this is just a shitty foundation. I truly don't know how I'll be able to make this work just because of how matte it is, but we will see. Okay, hello, Kayla from the future. I just put this on. It's actually Monday now because I didn't do anything yesterday. I had a migraine, so yay me. So I just put this on, and today I decided to like really prep my skin. So I used my Embryolisse moisturizer, which is my wintertime moisturizer. Hadn't switched over to this yet, but it has been a little bit cooler lately, so I did that. For primer, I mixed together the Too Faced Hangover RX primer with the Becca Backlight priming filter, because this is glowy, this is moisturizing. And I used a tiny amount. I still felt like it was really hard to blend. Like, it almost felt like it dried as soon as I put it on my face. It might be because I got a sample and it's been sitting in my purse for like maybe a week. So maybe the issue is that it like dried out in the pot, but that feels kind of weird. I put on a really thin layer, and then I tried to build it up. And then I doused my face in Catrice Prime and Fine Dewy Glow Setting Spray and the Milani Make It Last Setting Spray. From afar, it doesn't look bad. It's definitely not as full coverage. Like, I was afraid to make it as full coverage, which sounds weird. Like, I can see discoloration on my forehead. Let's look up close. So you can see it just looks like it's clinging to my dryness, and I don't really have a lot of dryness right now. Chin, like it already looks kind of funky here. Forehead is not looking great. Like you said, you can see kind of like my discoloration here. So like I didn't build it up a lot of my forehead. Again, I was like afraid to do that. So far I have had to put a lot of fucking work into this foundation, and just how difficult it was to blend out even using a beauty blender was a pain in my ass. I could only imagine what this would be like with an actual foundation brush. It would be a catastrophe. So it's like 2 o'clock right now. So I'll wear this for the rest of the day and see what happens, I guess. It didn't, like, it looks better, but like I can just tell it still looks cakey without being as full coverage as it's marketed to be. So if I did build it up to the consistency I would want, I would hate it. I think overall what's gonna happen is we're gonna realize that this is not dry skin friendly. But I'll be back later to let you know what happens. Okay guys, day 2, take 2. It is 8 p.m. I just ate dinner. I've had this on for 6 hours and it's trash. There's a cat here. Excuse me, ma'am. Just gonna talk over her. Louie. So I checked this a couple hours ago and it didn't look any better. It's all dry and cakey, and like I literally did everything today I could possibly do to make this foundation look better. I don't know how Toddy got this to look good on her skin. I don't know how anyone got this to look good on their skin. I'm gonna give you a zoom. So you can see, like, it's all cakey here. I've got the chin settling, and this is only 6 hours in. And it looked like this a couple hours ago at like about 5 hours in. You know, I can forgive a foundation looking cakey at the end of the day if it's a full coverage foundation and it's been a full day, but this was me putting on the thinnest layer possible and then wearing it for 6 hours, and it looked like this at about 4 hours. It's all separated and gross, and just like, this is a no for me, straight up. If you guys have been able to get this foundation to work, please let me know how, but I think that if you have dry skin, this is just not the foundation for you. If you have dry skin, you're looking for a full coverage foundation, the NARS Pro Longwear Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation is a million times better. You can put on like 2 pumps and look flawless and not have to deal with whatever this is. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Let me know down below if you tried this foundation and what you think about it, and I will talk to you guys next time. Bye.